All right, what's up, guys? I'm here to break down Game 2 of Lakers versus Nuggets. This was a real interesting game, and maybe not the good kind of interesting. It was just, first of all, it's frustrating because I do have a very strong rooting interest in the series. I'm rooting for the Nuggets heavily, not only because I'm a big Jokic fan and I really do like this Nuggets team. I want to see them make the finals for the first time, but I also dislike the Lakers. So sometimes it's hard to be completely objective by watching. But man, first things first, I complain about Mark Davis and Doris Burke, but Mark Jackson, Stan Van Gundy, and Mike Van Gundy, and Mike Breen, they're terrible. They are some of the worst. And I feel like the announcers nowadays. I used to think Brian Anderson was bad because he talks so much. He's one of the best because he's one of the most fair announcers out there. I mean, my goodness, these guys, they're terrible. I mean, it's like Van Gundy and Jackson forgot basketball. And the reason why I'm really going into this, I was furious with that flagrant foul call. Look, it wasn't a flagrant foul. Now, D'Angelo Russell clearly did wind up and fouled him hard. Okay, whatever. This is the woke NBA, blah, blah, blah. Not even to get into that, but this is the soft NBA. Of course it's going to be a flagrant foul. And Van Gundy just tears into it and makes all these sarcastic comments throughout the commentary saying how softly. I'm like, this is just such a joke because then they will glaze over or support the softest of ticky-tack fouls throughout games, always. And it's not just in this game, but every single game. Anytime you turn on to watch a game, you'll see a guy put his hand on another guy's back when he goes up for a shot. Oh, clear contact. That is a foul. And so I just get so fired up when stuff like that happens. And the other element of them, why I say they're so terrible now. So that's something that's like, did you guys just forget basketball? And Van Gundy, when he just gets so strongly opinionated, and he'll really tear into people. And I think that's why people liked him. Oh, I can't stand it, particularly from a guy that's never played the sport. The way he speaks so strongly, especially about what players should or shouldn't be doing, I really find it to be wrong. Regardless, they're also just massive Lakers fans. It's clear as day from the way Mike Breen shouts every single time a Lakers guy hits it, the tone with which, maybe I'm certainly overthinking it, but I can't, it drives me crazy. So that's a element of frustration. And then the reason why they're talking about the foul so much was because the refs, that whistle dictated the game in the first half, particularly the first quarter. It was super, super frustrating. And then the Nuggets, I want them to win, and I felt like they really did not play well today. This was one of the one games where the Joker, he wasn't the magician tonight, and he still had 23, 17, and 12. So there you go. But of his recent games, this is definitely not his best performance. He just kind of missed some of those gimme shots, some of those baby hooks that he usually knocks in all the time. He was a little bit indecisive at times. He had a couple sloppy turnovers, but he still played well overall. But I did make the note that they really were focused on getting him the ball in the paint early in the first quarter, and that actually was working very, very well. I think in the second half, he was a little bit more on the perimeter, and they were able to defend him better. But the counter argument to that was, well, look, in the fourth quarter, the guards were going crazy, Jamal Murray and Michael Porter. So he was out on the perimeter to kind of run that action where they run around and he'll hand the ball off, and from there they'll make a decision to shoot a three or look to have a pick and pop to Jokic, et cetera, et cetera. Et cetera, et cetera. But that's really going to be the story of this game. The story of the game is Michael Porter Jr. and mainly Jamal Murray in the fourth quarter. The Lakers, I really felt like the Lakers were going to win this game just from all the foul calls they were getting, the Nuggets not playing amazing, and it just felt, you can have a feel of a game. It just felt like the Lakers were going to find a way to win it, especially when Rui Hachimura had, how many points did he have? He had 21 points on 8 for 10 shooting. I mean, he was perfect for a long stretch of the game. It just felt like this is not going to end well. Somehow the Lakers are going to win this. But Jamal Murray got hot in the fourth quarter. I believe he had 22 points and maybe 22 or 23 points, and that was it. I mean, Murray and Porter were unconscious from three, so that really extended the lead, and the Lakers' offense became very stagnant. Somebody out there made the joke. I listened to it on a podcast, so you're going to either get AD, who's one of the arguably 5 best players in the league on any given night, or you're going to get his evil twin, DA. And I could tell kind of early, even though he defended well, Anthony Davis defended well throughout the game, and he did okay in spurts, you could tell his evil twin, DA, was a little bit more present today. He just wasn't great. He had 18 points. He was 4 for 15. He got to the line a bunch. He was 9 for 11 from the line. That's how he had 18 and 14. I mean, still not completely absent as he has been in the past, but it wasn't the best performance from AD. LeBron missed some layups. Could not hit a three. He was 0 for 6. There was a D'Angelo Russell piece to this game where, Bruce Brown kind of called him out, and it looked like that was going to go bad, especially when early Russell hit the three and pointed at Brown. I mean, it felt like a storm at the beginning of the game, but Russell came back to earth, and you see he wanted to play that role today, and he just couldn't. He's just not that great. But there's the thing I've realized and I've come to accept is you just have to know now, watching Lakers from now on, 2 out of the 4 guys are going to have big games. The 4 guys being Reeves, Russell, Hachimura, and Lonnie Walker. 2 out of the 4 every single game. Tonight it was Reeves, even though he didn't shoot. I mean, he actually ended up shooting 8 for 16, but at one point he was, I believe, 4 for 12. Or, it wasn't great, but he hit some shots at the end of the game. Ended up being 5 for 9 from 3. If it's a pivotal 3, he's going to make it. Evidenced by that banked 3 in the game tonight. But tonight it was Hachimura and Reeves. Next game it could be Russell and Reeves or Russell and Walker. It's going to happen. So that's why I kind of discredit the Lakers. I'm like, this should not be happening, but it continues to happen. So I better just get used to it. The Lakers are dangerous. I really did I liked their defense. Late the Nuggets hit some shots, and the Nuggets weren't doing that for a majority of the game, and the Lakers held the lead for the majority of the game. So it's hard to really, like I said after the first game, it's really hard to say where it's going to go. If I had to guess, if you told me I had to put $100 on it, after playing the 2 games in LA, I would say it's probably going to be 2-2, just knowing how things work. I mean, I've watched LeBron too long, and rooting against him most times. I've been continually disappointed as he just finds his way through the playoffs year after year. I just have a feeling the crowd's going to be raucous. I mean, it's going to be crazy. I have a feeling it'll be 2-2, but it's not, it's not crazy that the Nuggets could go out there and just play tremendous all game like they did the first 3 quarters of game 1 and be up 3-0. So, rooting for the Nuggets, I'm hopeful. But this series is, I still believe, very much alive, and the Lakers have a very strong chance. That home crowd, you got random role players hitting threes. I mean, it's just they do have great defense, and Anthony Davis has shown his defensive prowess. So it'll be interesting. I expect Jokic to be a lot better than he was tonight, even though, like I said, he wasn't bad. So we'll see. I expect us to be talking, in a couple days here, having the series be 2-2 headed back to Denver. But regardless, it was an interesting game, like I said. As you can tell, it's kind of frustrating. Still glad the Nuggets won. There's mixed emotions here, but overall, very interesting, and I look forward to Game 3. Peace.